Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Your body isn't a problem to fix. It's a system to support. From PMS to pregnancy to menopause. Ollie's Women's Wellness line is built on real science for every stage. No guilt, no stigmas, just science-backed supplements that work with you, not against you. Choose science over shame. Find support at a retailer near you or on ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
Have you ever binge-read a new favorite series only to end up with a book hangover?
Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy is the go-to literary podcast to discuss your favorite novels with your newest book besties. They use their literary backgrounds to analyze what makes these stories so special.
Listen to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, Mama Work It Tribe. I'm Marisa Lonick, working mom of 4, lover of all things flow, family, and fulfillment. You're tuning in to the Mama Work It podcast, where we take aim at overwhelm, mom guilt, and exhaustion and swap them out for big dreams, belly laughs, and productivity that actually fits into your life. Every week, we dive into tips, motivation, and a healthy dose of fun so you can slay your day even when you're busy AF. Ready to feel seen, energized, and totally unstoppable? Let's get to work, mama. Hey, mamas. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Mama Work It podcast. As always, I am so glad you're here. My name is Marisa Lonick. I am your host, working mama of 4, and the founder of Mama Work It, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life. Today's guest, her name is Lauren Petrowski. She is a media expert, former television news anchor, event host, content creator, and mom who has spent nearly 2 decades helping people connect through authentic storytelling. After years in front of the camera as a news anchor and TV host in Austin, Lauren now helps brands, entrepreneurs, and professionals strengthen their on-camera confidence, media presence, and personal brand visibility. She's known for her relatable personality and polished communication style, and works with businesses and individuals through media training, hosting, content creation. She's passionate about helping women specifically show up confidently, whether they're stepping onto a stage, speaking up in a meeting, creating content online, or simply learning to own their voice in everyday life. I know this topic is going to resonate. Lauren, thank you so much for being here.
Wow. Thank you so much for that intro. I need to capture all of that and use that as my future bio. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Isn't it the best when someone just goes down a list of all your amazing accomplishments and you're like, wait a minute, is that me?
Is that me? I mean, I struggle with the confidence as well. So I really appreciate those nice words.
I love it. Okay. Well, I want to hear a little bit more about your background. What led you to become this confidence guru, I'll say? I know you said you just struggle with it, but you are helping people in this space. So what got you here?
Yeah. Well, I have always just had an interest in knowing things. When people ask, how did you get involved in TV news? It was really out of curiosity. And having curiosity can really lead to such confidence. And let me explain that. So when I was younger, I kind of grew up in a household that watched the news. And so I just started watching the news, reading the news, and I found out I really am a curious person. I like knowing what's going on. And I really like being the one that gets to tell others about it. So that's kind of how I started in the news business. You know, I thought from a young age as a teenager, I think this is what I want to do. I was a theater kid, so always comfortable kind of speaking in front of others. And I just wanted to be the one that could ask the questions, be curious, and tell it to others. But a lot of the confidence comes from that. If you enter into any situation, even if it's just a conversation at a networking event or a social event, social gathering, happy hour, if you go into it as a curious person, that's going to lead to a connection. If you're asking those questions and wanting to find out more about someone, that shows that you're interested and you're going to make a real connection. And then from that is going to come confidence because you've made a connection with someone, you've built that trust with them, and that's going to make you more confident. And then that kind of transfers over too to anything. If you're speaking at a big meeting or giving a presentation, or you have to speak on stage or even on camera, if you're focused on the other person and being curious about them and then connecting with the person you're talking to or connecting with your audience and not thinking so much about yourself, that's going to help you be more confident.
Wow. I love this sort of reframe because I think when we think about confidence and the scary feeling sometimes behind showing up in that way, it's very internal. And you've really turned this around and made it about the other person and use this word curiosity so much. And I feel like curiosity isn't very scary. Confidence can feel scary, but curiosity doesn't.
No. And so if you bring that into any situation, I'm going to go into this as a curious person. I'm going to ask the good questions. Tell me more. You just asked me, how did you get started in that? How did you develop that confidence? You're really turning it around on the other person. People like to feel seen and understood. And like I said, that's going to build trust. So if you're not thinking so much about yourself, then you won't be as nervous and you can build that confidence.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you spent years on live television, like no editing, no filters, like live TV. What did confidence actually look like behind the scenes versus what people were seeing on camera?
Yeah, I think behind the scenes, it's just making sure that you're familiar with your material. That's another way to bring confidence. Obviously, I would find myself more nervous when I was going into some sort of breaking news situation or where I was having to think a little bit more on my feet. But I also took that as kind of a challenge, And I also knew I may mess up. I may stumble over my words. And that's okay because I am in a live breaking news situation. But just making sure, it was going into work early, going over all my scripts ahead of time, making sure that I was familiar with what I was going to be talking about, the words that I was going to be saying on camera. But then again, thinking about the other person, thinking about the audience. We have a job to do. We have a story to tell. We have information that they need to hear at home, and really not trying to think so much about myself and how am I going to sound? What if I mess up? Am I going to get the right words out? But just focusing on, we have a job to do. We've got to get this information out to our viewers the best way possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think preparation is critical in those types of situations. Yeah.
I see a lot of events. And so I'm speaking in front of a lot of live audiences, and it's just practicing. I mean, I will practice my scripts before I go up there. Even if I'm not memorizing it, even if I have scripts and notes, I'm still going to be practicing it to make sure that you're familiar with it.
Mm-hmm. Do you practice in front of a mirror?
I don't practice often in front of a mirror. I don't know if I love watching myself. Although that is advice that I give to people when I do media training sessions. I say to practice in front of a mirror, or really to practice on camera. So to record yourself, and you don't need to show it to anybody. No one needs to see these videos, but just so you can see how you look, facial expressions, making sure you're having the right energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure you've heard this term before, imposter syndrome. A lot of people struggle with this. Same here. A lot of people struggle with this. I think a lot of moms specifically too. What advice would you give to women who feel qualified, but still hesitate to show up visibly, maybe because this imposter syndrome is creeping in?
Yeah, we all get it. It happens all the time. I think what I try to remind people is you have something to give or something to share, or you are an expert at something and someone else can learn from you. I mentioned I MC events and I do a lot of local fundraisers. Well, a few years ago, I was asked to MC a big corporate conference in Austin, and it was going to be several hundred people. visiting Austin. So where I'm used to speaking to people who, are here locally alongside me. And so I got nervous. That imposter syndrome crept in because I was thinking, all of these people visiting for this conference, they're probably expecting some bigger name celebrity to be the one up there on the mic and not this like former local news anchor. But really what made me perfect for this role was local, because I had lived here more than 20 years where these visitors were coming from out of town and not that familiar with Austin. And so I kind of brought that to the stage and to my role as MC and was able to talk a little bit about Austin to them, to name some Austin hotspots they should visit while they're in town. The conference was taking place where the Willie Nelson statue is downtown. So I mentioned that and how I had been there on site when it was unveiled on 420 a few years back and covering it for the news. And afterward, the organizer of the conference came up to me and said, I'm really glad that we had this Austin local here. Like, you really brought something to the stage. And it was like, oh, yeah, I had a reason to be here because I was the Austin expert in that scenario. So we're all experts at something. You have to have confidence in that. Be the expert. Even if you don't feel like you're the expert, you have something to share. You have a skill to share. You have a story to share. And someone out there needs to hear it, and someone's going to learn from you.
Okay. Full body chills. Yes. Yes. So true. Because I think we downgrade a lot of that sometimes because it feels almost like second nature to a lot of us, these gifts that we have. Mm-hmm. And so we think to ourselves like, well, it's no big deal for me. Why would it be a big deal for someone else? And we forget that actually that could be something that's so useful and relevant and such a gift for that person to hear. But if you don't share it, they're never going to experience that.
100%. And we all have some sort of skill to share, like you said, that to us may be second nature and we don't think of it as a big deal. But you are good at something. You are an expert at something. And someone else will benefit from you sharing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably several things you're good at that you don't realize. Yeah.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
All right. So you've reinvented your career from news anchor to entrepreneur to content creator. What gave you this confidence to pivot?
Well, I'm still figuring all that out. And I want to make it clear, I still struggle with that a lot. It's been a few years since I left my full-time TV news job, but I still struggle with that career transition and really figuring out what it is I'm doing. I really loved my job a lot. Unfortunately, it is not or was not at the time very family friendly. And so with my schedule, I was waking up at 2:30 in the morning. I was working holidays. I had a son. We knew we wanted to have another kid. I had to make that very difficult decision. So it is not something where I've always showed up with confidence in this career transition. But I think going back to what we were just talking about, I do have a skill or a passion, a skill and a passion. And just because I've kind of stepped away from that full-time TV news job, I still want to be able to participate in those passions and skills I have and to share that with others. And so it's just been a matter of finding ways that I can make this work as an entrepreneur while still using those skills that I spent my career building.
Absolutely. And that work for the season you're in as a mom of littles. Yeah.
I am grateful and very fortunate that I have been able to spend more time with my kids while they're little, to be at home with them more, to pick them up from school. But the goal of stepping away from my full-time TV news job wasn't just to step into the role of mom. Nothing wrong with that. I'm still working out all the ways that I can use those skills while, being grateful for that flexibility I have.
Yeah, I agree. I am a former corporate leader, and I know many women who step out of one career and pivot to another while raising children. And yeah, sometimes the end goal is to be more of a full-time caregiver. And sometimes it's really to feed your ambition in a different way.
Definitely. That's what I've been working on.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think are the biggest mistakes people make when they're trying to build a personal brand online?
I think, we've heard this before, but it really is not being yourself, trying to look at others and what has made others successful, other creators we see, people we may really like their content and we look up to them. But there is no other you. So there is something unique that you can bring. And I also think just showing up. I get that speaking on camera or talking into that little phone can be cringe for some people if you're not used to it. But just doing it, get started with it. I mentioned you could just start making these videos that no one has to see at first. But once you start doing that and you kind of develop how to be more comfortable speaking on camera, then start putting those videos out there. See what resonates with people. See what gets them to engage and respond, and build upon that. And the other thing is good lighting. Yes. I can't tell you how much it bothers me when I see videos or virtual segments, even on TV, on the news. And I'm like, just put a light on you, or find some good natural lighting next to a window. You'll enjoy watching those videos back better if you've got some good lighting.
So true. So true. So many inexpensive ring lights, you guys, you can get.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely. And I feel like this goes hand in hand with, even if you're just showing up on Zoom calls for work and, showing up looking your best with a ring light, you are more confident in situations like that when you 100%. Just even dress the part, right?
Yes. I've got a couple digital products on this. I developed a guide to having a better virtual shot, just because, especially after the pandemic and working remotely and seeing so many more virtual calls, presentations, media appearances, there's just like a few simple things you can do to make yourself look your best on camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I want to pivot back to motherhood for a minute, because I feel like when I've struggled with confidence, of course, but then I've also I look back at seasons of my life and I'm like, how was I that confident to show up to that job interview and land that role at 24 years old or whatever it was, So I kind of surprise myself sometimes, but I think there is nothing like motherhood to humble you when it comes to confidence. So how has this maybe changed your relationship with confidence? How has it affected that confidence for you? Can you share more about that?
Yeah, I think that I feel the most confident as a mom when I have fulfilled that other side of me as well. So on the days where I still do some freelance TV segments for a TV station here. So on the days where I've had a news segment, or I've had, on the days where I have an on-camera segment, or I have a media training session that I've done, or I've worked to develop something professionally, then I show up with more confidence when I pick up my kids from school and I'm spending time with them in the afternoon, because my mind isn't spinning as much about what did I accomplish today for me though? What did I accomplish today for me to feel fulfilled in my personal and professional life? So when I do something for me, then I also just can show up more confidently as a mom and be more present as well, which is so important.
I couldn't agree more. I think that is so critical and so important. And so many of our listeners are these very successful, gifted, talented, ambitious women who want to succeed at home and succeed at work. And I think they really do go hand in hand. When you feel good at home, you show up good at work. When you feel good at work, you show up good at home. And so it just really translates.
It's so true. And I really take issue with the term mom guilt. I don't like it at all. And I wish that we could just eliminate that. I posted around Mother's Day, do you love your kids? Do they know you love them? Are you there for them when they need you most? Probably most moms are answering yes to those questions. So you have no reason to feel the mom guilt. It all happens. It happens to all of us. We're not going to get rid of the feeling completely. But, my kids had field day a couple weeks ago. And again, I am someone who works part-time, contract work. A lot of times I can be there for the big things at school. I'm room parent, all of that. But that day I actually had some content I had to shoot, a project I was working on that needed to get done. And I just told my kids I'm not going to be able to volunteer at field day. And they were both disappointed in me. And I let myself feel guilty for about 10 seconds. And I was like, no, we're moving on from this. I'm there a lot for you guys. I have something that I have to do today. I'll be there for the next one. And the truth is, even if our kids make us feel guilty in the moment, ultimately they want us to be happy. Your kids want that for you. They want you to be happy and fulfilled. It brings me so much joy when my son asks me at the end of the day, Mom, how was your day? And I get to tell him something that I did for myself that made me feel happy and fulfilled, because I think it's very important for our kids to see that.
Yeah, I agree. I have definitely experienced the same situation, and I've gotten better at sort of how to manage it. And how I looked at this too years ago when sort of I was working through my own mom guilt stuff was, I want to model what a healthy adult looks like for these kids.
100%.
And a healthy adult doesn't put themselves last all the time, right? I don't want them repeating that cycle. And so I needed to show up and say yes and honor all these parts of myself, like you're saying, even if that meant saying no to something that, you might get a little FOMO or guilt about sometimes because you're indirectly parenting and teaching them how to be adults in that way.
Yeah. My mom worked full time most of my life, and I'm sure there were things that she had to miss, but I don't look back on anything thinking my mom wasn't there. I look back on it like she really instilled a good work ethic in me. And I think that helped me to want to work hard in school, achieve my goals, have this career that I wanted.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Last question here before we move on to our lightning round. For someone listening today who wants to start showing up more boldly, whether that be in business, on social media, just in life in general, what is one practical step you would tell them to take this week?
I would start creating some sort of content that does that, whether it's writing to get your thoughts out, whether it is speaking on camera and posting videos, whatever it is, start getting that content out there, interacting with people, engaging with people. Maybe it's even you going on to different social sites and engaging with others, or reading someone's Substack, subscribing to their newsletter, consuming content, creating content. Again, we all have something to share, a story to share, a skill to share that someone will benefit from. And if you're wanting to show up, that's how you can start doing it.
I love it. Don't be a lurker. Don't be a doom scroller. put a comment down, engage, interact, share your content.
Engage, interact, create.
Yeah. And I feel like this could be virtual and this could be in person. Like even just showing up more confidently, like when you're running your errands and striking up a conversation with someone, right? Be curious. Right. Where did you get that cute skirt? Where did you get that?
Oh, always giving the compliment too is the easiest way to make someone's day. If you see someone who's wearing something, or you just like their vibe that they're bringing, tell them. Don't just think it. Why not tell them and make their day? My daughter is 6, and I picked her up from school the other day, and her little friend Kate like looked right at me and said, "Paloma's mom, I really like your earrings." I mean, just looked me right in the eye. And it just stuck with me.
She's got it down. She's got it down.
It's like confidence. She wanted to give me that compliment, and it stuck with me. So yeah, be curious, ask the questions, give the compliment.
Yeah, honestly. And I love giving a compliment. Like I know it'll make someone else feel better, but like it makes me feel good too.
It really does. We do Rosebud Thorn with our kids every night. I'm sure you're familiar with that. You know, highlight of your day, something you're looking forward to, the not so good part of your day. But we added water, and it's how did you water someone, or how did someone water you? It's like, what's a small act of kindness that you can think of that happened today? Just to kind of get our kids in that mind frame of like doing little things for others, or taking note when someone does something like that for you.
Oh, that is super sweet. I love that. I might have to borrow that little addition.
Yes. Before bed every night. They love it.
Okay, perfect. All right, Lauren. Well, let's move on now to our lightning round. This is where I'm going to ask you some random, fun, personal questions. Okay. What is your go-to get it done motivating song?
I'm a huge Swiftie. Huge.
Okay.
So it's got to be something Taylor Swift. I am also one of those people that like listens to the sad music even when I'm happy. So
I get that.
Our Tortured Poets Department era is like my favorite, but I don't know, something Taylor, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, but Daddy, I Love Him. Like, you know, one of those just kind of up, a little more upbeat songs.
Okay. Okay. If you could go on vacation tomorrow anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
This is so predictable for anyone who knows me, but I am a Paris freak. So even though I've been there many times, that's probably always going to be my answer if I had the option to go anywhere in the world tomorrow.
I mean, who wouldn't want to go to Paris? It's so beautiful.
It's just the greatest.
Nail salon, hair salon, or spa. You can only pick one to visit for the rest of your life. Which one is it? Which is most important for camera?
So hard. Because I, at 42, am just not ready to go gray yet. So this is very difficult, but I love a good facial, and it's extremely important the older we get as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a hard question. I know.
I'm gonna go spa because I love facials.
Yeah. Okay. What book are you reading right now?
Oh, Yesteryear. Have you heard about it? It is. A lot of people are talking about this book. It's about a trad wife influencer. And she all of a sudden wakes up and it's like 1855. So actual trad wife times. It is very, very interesting so far.
Okay. That sounds like a good summer read for sure. All right. Last question. What's something most people may not know about you?
This one is hard because I'm such an open book. People might be surprised. I'm one of the least athletic people you'll ever meet. But I love skiing. It's kind of just a random physical activity that I really enjoy. My husband is a big snowboarder and I ski, and it's just kind of something that we love doing together.
Okay. Well, you're not skiing much in Austin, so I'm sure you're traveling for that.
We travel a lot during the winter months to get on the mountain.
Love it. Okay, well, good. Before we officially wrap up, please tell our listeners where they can find you, connect with you, learn from you, all the things.
Great, thank you. You can find out more information on my website, laurenpetrowski.com. Also find me on Instagram at Lauren Petrowski. I share a lot of communication tips, media tips, along with just some fun lifestyle content as well.
Awesome. Lauren, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you feel empowered, inspired, and ready to take your next step. If this episode spoke to you, share it with another amazing mama, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us show up wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to head over to mamaworkit.com for free resources, coaching support, and new ways to momage your days as a busy mom. Until next time, keep on working it, mama.
Struggling with weight loss? Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet is a clinically developed nutrition program designed to promote fat loss while protecting lean body mass. Developed at USC's Longevity Institute, it assists the body in entering a fasting-like state that helps reset metabolism and target visceral fat. In just 5 days, Prolon offers a science-backed approach to weight loss without extreme restriction or guesswork. Get 15% off plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe at prolonlife.com/now.
Spotify, it's Jay Shetty. Are you one of those media strategy people? Scrolling through spreadsheets, searching for an audience that pays twice as much attention to your ads than they do on social? Let me introduce you to Fans. And they're here with me on Spotify. Trust me, I know Fans. They don't skip, they stay for hours. They don't move on, they manifest. They're not a demographic group, they're fans.
Spotify advertising. You're among fans.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.